And we're starting off with Nancy. Nancy, you're with Allworth Money Matters.
Hi. Thanks for taking my call.
Yeah.
I have a question which I'm sure you've been asked many times, but Roth conversions really confuse me. So when I retired from the phone company, I rolled my pension and my 401k into an IRA,
Okay.
right? All pre-tax. So, and then I took a glorious 6 months off, and then I came back to work at a little job because I told myself I was going to work till 65. So I'm ready to retire this year.
How old are you today?
Retire. 64.
Okay.
Yeah. So in July, I'll be 65. So I'm retiring August 1st.
Wow.
And
All
so, and just complete, yeah. So I have about 2.2 in my IRA now.
And let me ask you a quick question. When did you leave the phone company?
In December 28th, 2021.
And what was the $2.2 million IRA today? What were the values of those? Probably a couple different accounts. Your pension, your 401k. Do you remember what it was worth when you retired?
My pension was like $20 shy of $1 million, and then my 401k was $650.
Oh,
maybe.
Okay. And have you taken any distributions off that?
Yes, my
Okay,
first
good.
6 months.
I'm thinking, all right.
Yeah, my first 6 months, I was just living off that when I retired because I wanted to have some time off, and then I kind of kept taking it when I started working because I wanted to give my daughter some money for her wedding. I thought that was easier to take a little bit at a time.
Okay.
So, yeah, so I did some things, and then I kind of moved my financial advisor because I didn't like the way that the original one had it invested. I wasn't making any money. She had too much in bonds, in my opinion. But so I transferred to this guy, and this guy is doing really good in my investing. So, but now that I'm looking at it, and I listen to your podcast, I listen to a lot of financial podcasts, and a lot of people, especially your show, talks about, oh, you should or should not start rolling some of that to a Roth because then my RMDs are going to be really high when the time comes, so in 10 years, right?
Yes.
So I was wondering,
and we talk about it a lot because it's one of the main planning tools that people with some assets have available.
So
controlling their taxes.
So when you retire, do you plan on starting an income off this IRA?
Yes.
And how much?
I thought $5,000 a month minus the tax. So I take home $4,000. That's fine.
Okay, so $60,000. So about a 2.85% distribution right in there.
And what did you take out of that account in 2025? Ballpark.
Oh, I take $2,500 a month, so I take home $2,000.
Okay, and what did you earn in wages for 2025? Ballpark.
52, probably 5,200.
Okay, and you're going to start Social Security at 65 as well.
Well, I wasn't.
And are you married or?
No, I'm single.
Okay.
And he was talking about just waiting till 70 to collect it. And I said, well, and he goes, well, you know what? If it doesn't work out, then just start collecting it. It's totally up to you, but we suggest you wait till 70 to get the biggest bang, is what he said.
And what do you feel about that?
I feel if I could support myself on my IRA, I'm willing to do it. But in 2 years, when I'm 67 and I reach my max, then I might change my mind. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So, yeah.
So do you have any money outside of IRAs?
No, all my money's in there, except for my, little savings account I have,
Okay. So,
and has your advisor run any scenarios over the next several years of what your tax situation's like? What's going to happen if at age 75 at required minimum distributions? Have you done any of that analysis?
Yeah, when he gave me my plan, that's where I saw like how big my RMDs are going to be and how much taxes I'm going to pay. And then, I'm listening to Medicare webinars and stuff, and it's like, oh my God, the IRMAA thing came in mind. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to be paying up the yin yang for medical in my retirement as well. So that's what I was thinking. And I talked to my tax person the other day, but she really wasn't that up on Roth conversion. So I thought,
what do you mean she wasn't up on it?
Well, about how to pay my taxes, because I said, well, if I want to roll 50 a year to keep me under my 105, if I want to do 50 a year, how do I pay those taxes?
You actually have to take, because there's no money outside. You hit the key here, right? There's no money outside the IRA. You actually have to use the IRA money to actually pay the taxes.
Oh,
so it's a push.
Okay.
You got to gross it up.
Yeah, so it's a push.
It may be a push, maybe not a push, depending on
the marginal tax rate. The biggest question to me is when I start Social Security at 60,
well, you're gonna the plan you have now. If you're gonna suddenly take a $5,000 a month distribution, you're gonna go backwards in your standard of living. Because right now you've been making $5,000 a month in your wage and taking $2,500 a month.
So you're making
and I take home $3,000 a month after taxes.
And you're taking the money from the IRA, $2,500.
Yes, if that's my mortgage is like 18 something, so I wanted that $2,000 to pay that.
I think you should take
a little bit more.
I think you should take more out of the IRA. I would take a 4% distribution.
How much do you owe on your house?
I owe about $125.
And the interest rate is super low?
2.85.
You know what I'd recommend? I would take whatever amounts needed to pay that mortgage. So I would, it's $1,800 a month, gross that up a bit. And so I would take maybe $200,000 of that IRA and I'd put it in a separate account. I'd invest it conservatively, and I would have it send you a net $1,800 a month each month.
So you're going to match maturities?
Correct. You've essentially paid off your mortgage by doing that. I have more than 125 because you've got to gross it up for taxes. And then figure out how much you need on a monthly basis. Because the plan that you just laid out to here, it sounds like you're living way below your means.
Yeah.
You're going to go back. And you've got $2.2 million.
Yeah, and you have the ability to take. How's your health? You have the ability to take Social Security. Your health is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to take a little bit more money out of the IRA or start Social Security. And I personally like the idea of taking, because one way to model it, there's the 4% rule or some of those things, and you've got $1,800 a month mortgage payment, right?
Right.
So if we can carve off just a little bit of your nest egg to set it aside to pay that, essentially we're paying off the mortgage, but we're doing it in the most tax efficient manner, and your interest rate, we haven't asked you, but I'm sure it's very low, is less than what you're paying.
She said it's sub 3.
Okay.
2.85. Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't listening. My apologies. I was thinking. And then we could say, all right, of $2 million, we take even a 4% distribution. That's $80,000 a year. And you might say, I don't need that. My mortgage payment's already made. I don't need that much money. And say, okay, we take a little bit less than that. But I depending on how you want to live your life, but the plan you have now, your lifestyle is going to go backwards, and you're going to be a very wealthy old lady.
Well, see, that's my thing. So I thought if I kept it low and have the ability to convert and still keep me below.
So what's the objective? So you could.
Why?
So it's $10 million when you die?
What are we trying to achieve here?
Yeah, what are we trying to achieve?
I'm trying to achieve. Okay, so if I'm going to be able to pass on money to my daughter, I kind of want it to be Roth money, and me spend my IRA money and pay taxes on it.
And how much do you want to leave to your daughter? $2 million, $5 million, $10 million?
Well, I don't think it's ever going to be that big, but I mean, if I leave her $1 million, that'd be great.
Well, you'll leave her $1 million.
Oh, you think so?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So you don't think I need to do Roth conversions then?
I wouldn't.
It might make sense for a little bit.
I wouldn't.
Your first year retirement, I'd kind of see.
Do you plan on staying in the state of California?
Yes. Uh-huh.
I wouldn't.
You wouldn't?
Okay.
Oh, why?
It's not worth it.
Because the required minimum distribution. I tend to disagree with you on that. I think you need. What I'm more concerned with is you having enough income to live the lifestyle that you're used to.
But Scott, her required minimum distribution will be if she starts a 4% distribution today. If she carves out the $200,000, right?
It'd be the same amount.
Yeah. If she carves out $200,000 in a match maturity, right? Well, hold 1 second. And then she starts a 4% distribution, right? And we adjust it to inflation, which would be my hope every year.
That's right.
And then by the time required minimum distributions kick in at age 75.
It's the same number.
It will actually, the RMD might be lower
than the distribution.
That's why I wouldn't mess with it.
I would agree with you on that.
The biggest question I would do is if the objective was to leave as much money as possible to my child, and we'd have to run this through the calculation, you probably, and you assume a 7 or 8% growth rate on the portfolio, depending upon how it's invested, maybe it might make sense to start Social Security earlier.
At the 67?
Or at the 65.
Oh, really?
Well, let's make sure you're going to be retired.
Yes.
Take a year off.
Take a year off and then look at it.
You're my sister.
Mm-hmm.
Because if my sister, then I can really pound on her like, this is what you need to do. So if you're my sister, I'd say, all right, Nancy, what we're going to do is we're going to take, actually not 125, we'll take 175 grand. We're going to carve a separate IRA, and we're going to have the gross amount of $2,200 a month or whatever it is, and you're going to net $1,800 a month. That's going to cover your mortgage. So,
okay.
Right. Then we're going to take the rest, the $2 million, and say, let's take a 4% distribution off that. You don't want to go that high, 3.5% distribution. But a 4% distribution is $80,000. And if we find ourselves a year, 2 years from now with money accumulating in the bank, then we'll say, you know what? Let's take a little less and let's do a Roth conversion with that differential.
Okay.
The plan you have seems to me that you're going to be living a much lower lifestyle than you could afford.
For what?
For what?
So, and by the way, the decision you make the first day you start this can be changed.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It can be changed.
Exactly right.
The Roth rollover cannot be changed. So I wouldn't be in a hurry to do a Roth, but I'm not ruling it out forever. And I kind of like Scott's idea of just like carving this money out. And what you're doing there is you're matching maturities. You're saying, I have essentially the mortgage paid off. I've got this money invested in a higher yield than the cost of money on my mortgage, and I'm matching those maturities, basically.
I see. Okay. I didn't think about that.
It will help you psychologically because you essentially have paid off your home. You've just got it, you could actually go back in individual bonds and get a higher yield than what you're paying on the interest there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that way, because that account's going to it'll get smaller each year, just like because you're paying the mortgage off, right? It's not just the interest.
Right.
So, and the reason I like in this particular situation to carve it out is that way you're not seeing a heavy load on the $2.2 million. You're seeing a light load on the distribution of the $2 million, and a little heavier than the other account. You understand psychologically, we're going to match maturities. We're going to invest it conservative. It's going to pay my mortgage off over the number of years.
Okay.
All righty.
Okay, sounds good.
And
okay,
I would
you.
consider Social Security rather
sooner than later.
Yeah, I would too.
Okay.
But but look at it.
2023. When's it coming?
So here's actually your financial advisor. Ask them to model what happens if you start in 30 years. How will I have the most money? In 30 years from now, if I start Social Security at age 65 or I start at age 70, and they can model it and tell you exactly. What your account balance, exactly, using their models and assumed rates
That's
of return.
if you reduce your IRA distributions by the commensurate amount.
That's right. But they can play with that. So, okay.
Okay. Sounds good.
Right.
Thank you.
All right, Nancy. Wish you well.